Look around and create a sense of well-being in your home. It's time for interiors. Yann Descamps is an interior designer. Hotels, apartments, and even listed sites have been decorated with talent, intelligence, and generosity by this fan of ancient objects.
Hello, come in.
And his office and pied-à-terre in Paris is a reflection of his work.
This is mainly a place to work, but in fact I spend a lot of time working. Therefore, inevitably, I live here a little too, since every now and again I even sleep here. So yes, I spend most of my time here. Originally it was all white and was basically a typical office with lots of white tiling and strip lighting. It was a sort of workshop here and it feels a bit like a secret place. You're in the square, you're just nearby, then, without suspecting it for a moment, you come in here and there's all this space. In interior design, everything's good as long as it's done well. I love minimalism when it's done well. I love 18th century style when it's done well. Everything works. There are only a few things that are done well in each genre, but I have quite eclectic tastes. Here you're in the entry hall, which is normal since you've just come in. It also serves as a kitchen from time to time. In fact, it's a room that isn't used for anything, or at least not much. It's a room that's slightly lost, which is really quite a luxury. I was very lucky because everything was already here. Everything's original Louis XVI. There's the wood paneling, even the painting, the doors and the cornices, the low wainscoting. I added some nice door handles and above all the paintwork. It's not much, it's just painting, but I started with the bubble ceiling lamp that you see there. The entrance door is this one. It's the smallest and also the best hidden, but it does have the prettiest door handle. In fact, if you look closely, you'll see that a long time ago this must have been a courtyard. We're not on the ground floor, but it has been filled in, so these windows here must have once overlooked the courtyard. I like the idea of having an office like this under the glass roof. Then there's this huge oversized wall, and since I needed space and a sort of bookcase, well, listen, the shelving is the size of the wall, and that's all there is to it. I love looking for treasures in second-hand shops, markets and antique dealers, and anywhere else I can. After a while, you get addicted. Sometimes on a Sunday when I haven't got much to do, luckily that doesn't happen very often, well, what do? Rather than watching TV, I prefer to go bargain hunting at a local flea market. The desk I bought specially for this room. I wanted it to be really big, and it's actually quite hard to find such big pieces of furniture because rooms are generally quite small in Paris. So stall holders and antique dealers rarely have big pieces of furniture because nobody wants them or knows what to do with them. These are prototypes, so there are lots of little defects everywhere. But it was the chance to have a bit of fun with the theme of playing cards. I also designed these lamps, but most of the other objects I found in flea markets and bric-a-brac stalls. My most recent purchase, in fact, is this arm of Morpheus that you see here, which is quite heavy. Then there's this little wash basin here. It has just the right amount of wear and tear, and the enamel is just as it should be. Old yellow tinged enamel that I like.
The slightly Spartan comfort contrasts with the elegance of the apartment and gives it its masculine and studious feel.
Here we have the smallest room, my office. It's not really an office, it's a place where from time to time I take a rest. When you have a really small room, personally I like overloading it slightly more than I usually would, because in any case, if you paint it white, it won't resemble anything at all. It'll be a vulgar wardrobe. It's really small, so if we can add a big mirror there, that helps. And it gives an extra dimension. This one's in front of the window, this one opposite the door. It's not very feng shui, but that doesn't bother me either. I really like wallpaper, especially old patterns like that, printed in frames. It's extremely matte, and that gives quite an interesting design. It's quite masculine, but I like it a lot. The overall feel is quite eclectic. It's a place of work, so it changes, it evolves. The furniture moves, changes. The lamps, the objects, all that changes. The colors change too. From time to time, it's good to repaint a room. An atmosphere shouldn't remain frozen forever.